Hey guys, Super Nicktendo here with another video for you. As you're probably aware, the NES Classic has been discontinued after only being out since November, and really that's disappointing because it's a really cool system and we wish that Nintendo would keep it out for longer. And it got me to think, what items in my collection do I have that are super hard to find that are made by Nintendo? So without further ado, here's a list of my 5 most hard to find Nintendo items in my collection. Okay, number 1 is the Legend of Zelda game. Now this Legend of Zelda game came out in 1988, and as you can kind of see, the Link and Princess Zelda haven't been quite established yet, so you'll see that they definitely don't look like the Link and Zelda of today. So that's what also makes it a pretty cool collector piece. One of the hardest things to find about this game, I mean, you can find it on eBay almost, well, there's maybe like one on eBay right now, but the condition that it's in, and also this one has the majority of the pieces. I only really have, there's one recreation, and I believe it's the dice. I can't really know for sure, but all of the hearts are there, and all the rest of the pieces are original. So that's what makes it a really cool collector's item. I paid about $100 on eBay for it, and it's really nice to have in my collection, especially since I'm a big Zelda fan. Second item on my list here is the Nintendo Entertainment System Deluxe Set Box. Now it's not just the system, it's the actual box that the system came into. Now I already have all of the items that are displayed here, but I never had the box. Growing up, my first introduction to Nintendo was the action set, which came with the gun, Mario, Duck Hunt, and 2 controllers. But it didn't come with Rob. I actually wasn't familiar with Rob because he came out and was discontinued really quick in the system. So I really like this box because of the graphic design on it. I mean, look at Rob, like he's glowing. It's about as 80s as you can with the box here. And then, like, of course on the back here you got the family playing Nintendo, and the Nintendo's not even plugged in. So that's really interesting to have. One of the interesting stories about this though is I got it from Craigslist. I was just searching around Craigslist for the NES Deluxe Box, and the guy had it for $20, and I got so excited. I ran out. I didn't have a car at the time, so I got like a lift, or not even a lift. I got a zip car, and I drove down to the guy's house, found it, and I only paid $20 for it. And the cool thing is that he wanted to cut it apart and put it in his man cave. So I feel that I rescued it from being destroyed, and it sits really nice in my collection. I wish I had more room for it though. The only downside is that it doesn't have styrofoam, which isn't really a big deal for me, but it's still pretty cool to have. Next item on my list that was hard to find is, of course, the NES Classic Edition. Now, the NES Classic Edition, as you know, was discontinued just last week, April 13th, if you guys are watching this a little bit late. The NES Classic, little itty bitty Nintendo with a full-size controller, short cord, but it plays 30 cool games in HD. You can plug it up to a modern TV with HDMI. There's really nothing to this story. I had a zoo alert on my phone. It texted me saying that it was available at GameStop. I had to pay extra, a $20 extra, because I had it was bundled with this wireless third-party controller, which I'm not too confident about, but for the extra $20 to get an NES Classic in my collection, I just had to jump on it. The next item on my list is the Majoras Mask collection with the Skull Kid figurine. Now the Skull Kid figurine is a representation of, it's actually a minuscule amount of, there's a really expensive statue out there that looks just like this. This is a miniature scale version to it, and it comes in this nice cool looking box. But as you know, like basically it was announced just after a Nintendo Direct, went up on pre-order super quick, and it sold out almost instantaneously. Like you couldn't even find it anywhere. You know, Best Buy had them, they were gone in like 2 seconds. Like it was impossible to find. Nintendo didn't say anything about it, and so you were kind of stuck. Like if you watched the Nintendo Direct and you knew, if you worked at Best Buy or GameStop ahead of time, that's how you got it. But lucky for me, I had, again, like a GameStop bundle that had this and the Prima Majora's Mask strategy guide. Now I've played Majora's Mask already on the Nintendo 64, so I really didn't need it, but I mean, the box is really cool, the figure is pretty cool, and then plus it's Majora's Mask for the new 3DS. The last item on my list here is, of course, the Nintendo Majora's Mask new 3DS XL. Now, of course, like this was announced with the Majora's Mask limited edition for 3DS, and this thing, of course, went out like super fast. I mean, look at how cool that is. It's a nice gold version, and of course, like there's really no other Nintendo 3DS out there like it. So I had to have it, of course, and lo and behold, I didn't have my phone at work, so I missed out on the notifications from my friends telling me where to get it and the pre-orders, and so it was sold out, couldn't get it, I was stuck. But luckily my friend had 2 of them from Best Buy, and he said, you know, hey, I'll just sell you the extra one for cost, it won't be such a big deal. And I was like, all right, well that's pretty cool. And so I was, you know, fine. Like this thing didn't come out until February, and it was already January, so I was like, well, that's fine, good. But then the whole debacle, and I'm not sure if you guys remember this, but Best Buy went in and canceled every single order that had 2 or more because the limit was 1 per household. So his order actually, luckily it didn't get fully canceled, but of course one of his 3DSs got canceled, so I was out of luck because obviously he was going to take the first one. But then lo and behold, on Reddit again, I noticed that GameStop was going to have pre-orders up again, but you had to go into the store, and I got into the store at 10 a.m. Luckily there was no line. I had money to actually put down because I had to pay for it full out of pocket, and then it showed up at my doorstep, and I'm really glad to have it because you know, I'm not really too much of a collector of 3DSs. There's like a gazillion out there, but I definitely wanted to have this one. Now I have some honorable mentions that didn't quite make the cut. First up, we have the World of Nintendo 8-bit Classic series that was a Walgreens exclusive. Now there are a handful of these, but these 3 were the hardest to find. Next on my list that didn't quite make the cut, the Vans NES shoes. Now these weren't necessarily hard to find if you knew when they were going to be released. I essentially just went to the Vans store right when they opened, picked out the shoe that I wanted, and went home. It's got a cool NES box, and I wear them from time to time, as you can see by the wear. But if you missed the sale, good luck finding a pair. Last but not least, the Breath of the Wild Master Edition. It comes with a pretty sweet statue, but no real hard story for me. I just pre-ordered it. Alright, that's it for now. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button. And once again, thanks for watching.